Okei, taamikskan, hai taamiksistikkoon oksistik. Muuksi ja iskäiks tammukea naha ikätä piitsiniks. Annaks muu tässä tsiipaa pistahkaan. Kun outu tämä piua kipäätä piitsi. Maakin tutiin noa upakita piua. Mi pistahkaan niin kitäkin situuttu. Aksamuh pistä pummata piiksimpistä. Saa tuuksista. Maataks tämä nioatsiksaa. Käksaakin muhti. Ääksimpistä käkaa peippui. Käkäsuks saat sema mi pistahkaan. Kimie kimie on. Pitämäktän se. Hän on stupitakin. Aamoin tääkuutsi pistahkan ja saapuktu muutspa. Hän ei ole sitä maapiuhaa. Kikä ootsi maja. Hän ei ole sitä ootsi pimaumahkin nao. Hän ei saapuktu mua. Mä ajattelin sitä piuhaa. O päätä piisin oksempista. Sitten sitä piu täikinä. Hän ei muu pistahkaan noita kuis. Kimi oppi taamme niin toisti. Mä kannois topit. Kahki tutkisiipaa. Ist sapahtumootsi. Ahkitsis pommua ja imannis taaksiipää. Hän jäi niitä skunetaan piuakin. Ki päätä piisin onaa. Hän muuksia sitä piiksi. Ei kakao aatstu. Ei kakao. Ne natkisiipui. Eiks tääpiis, eiks tuhtuussa kohtsiipuissa. Eiks niissä muuta ajakutsiipuissa. Hän akan jouhden ohtu muuksia tännikä. Ja pikätä piitsinikin taamukiskoht. Näin nuhtsiipui. No heiski niin ajakutsiipui oppisti. Akpatsi muisko. Hän akpatsi. Napinatuus. Aame on niin saaphtumuutspaki. Ei nakapiisi. Hän on saaphtumuutspaki. Ahkits pumpstousi. Ajakan jousi. Ajakaksi muhpia. Aksuka pioaki taikinnaua. Kistoinäkin ahaiksim statsuukääkin. Ahkaisuks pumuhpi matapiua. Niin se on ne kaakitapi. Kaakitanistiua. No hohpukaa päin. Ei aakse muhtu niin päätöpiisinäkin. Noksisesti koinit kun näin skatsemattu mua. Kan näitä pienotsiskuu. Omakitapi. Sitä piiksi. Puukaiksi. Kaniks kaapuatsuksiksi. Se päätyi vohkatskuutkaija. Mä kuhatski täpitä piisaa. Kikit huita piakin atyitäpi. Kähnäisukampio. Käyksen täpi inskstiipami. Annist pahkits pumpstos. Käytkö tää mitäkin op. Annista piua. Mamma täpi on piakin käki tohtsimaan. Eiks keisuka. Käytkö tää mitäkin op. Hästä muhtsinskiä. Kita piiksi. Ensin spoavakin päätä piiksinä. Okinoksistikoyaki. Kena bioaki. Akskipsta tukki päätäpiisin. Sitä ammata paa mukiskohti. Me toh mataksis. Ei kakoi täskipi käsimitsi aatsuhsu. Anno kaksi tapaa putsitsi. Iso pohti ma. Aksaista nisti onnuksistikoi. Aksaista niistä päätäpiimuuksia sitä piiksi. Aksaista kuutsimatumia. Häitä pahpaa on jääniskaan. Nyt se on ei pommimaksi. Pienimaa meukiska. Meukiska esimattu. Käoiskustista tahpista. Okei, mä oon kinä aakani. Okei. Hän on kitsapuhtis. Hän eikä niin päätäpiisenä. No, se nakotsi poja. Okei, no kanaatin vaan käykotsi poja. Akskats haisksti piksimpistanno. Istuutsi päätäpio. Kaksen on yksi. Hän on mitä pestutsi. Amo tapestutsi ja kämu tapää. Avai sahkatumia vaan niin kuin sitä kuutsi. Joo. Oppispia istuimia. Ahpuukia pestutsi ja muuksi niin suhkatakakin. Paja pummahkaiksi, neiksi. Kästimikin johkiiksikin sitä otsi. Manstaamiksi jakaitasti. Oot sitä pistutsi pian. Neitsksin otsi ja hakaita pistutsi ja kimahko aaki käksi. Aaki tuut naatsi manne. Akan jopspitsi johan niin tsinska tohpitsi. Rising to the mountains, pitsi. Okei. Oot sittukas pinapio, akapio isänne mai. Anna sittukas siksi näet siinä kotsiipui. Okei, niin kun sit se on meidän pukaispia. Ei tää pukaja, pisk satuus joo. Ei tää pukaja. Se pääti pioppa. Ei tohtu juoksi tsinikisi amuksi. Istuutsi pääti pioppa. Pisk vajaksi. Päätäpiiksi, että haatui itäpiiksi, tässä piisautakin on. Kinnona. Kimi on ajakuksesta suhveitsi tässä piuhan. Hei sapsti iskaikin tapsa, pinnina etu kuulskatsi ja omiakin. Ookin sota mää. Pisk saatuusi on. Itse tästi omaakin. Itse tästi oma puukaa. Okei puukaa. Kauan stapsi samaa kiua. Ne näymis kaakio. Vitski naakio. Okei kyskstäkin. Mutta kanaamia niistä tyisen niipistä. Kanatsuu mitäiksi. Kamitsin sisään omuksen. Mua jäävä puukaa vai puukais. Kenäksäpi puukais. Mä taisin kystiitsi puukaa. Kannakkaa itse puukaa. Aika kohkaa jo. Itä niistä tuutsi. Oki tohkanaatsiakin tänskiäkin tohkutsia itskaasi. Sitten itskaasi. Kestämitsen epäitä pimuuksi. Utsi muiksi kannakkaa siksi. Kanaamia nisi muiksi kannakkaa. Okiska neskin otsi. Oki mä puukaa. Se on tämmöinen maki. Aamuun mä otan hutsua tuupaa. Sitten se muuksi kannakkaa. Aamuksistakin on. Niin mä otan hutsua tuupaa. Ja aamustikamat. Niin mä otan hutsua tuupaa. Aamun nuhtuutsa. Aamuksi kannakkaa. Aamuja kiua. Niin näims kahkio. Itse niin tuutsi on me uhkoi. Kun ei pukaisi. Me on täpistut soi. Aka ei kuuhisa. Itse ja on. Muuksiska. Siskstäkin. Okei, täysin kakkusi naksui. Mä tahui. Jo te pukaisi mä pukaa. Niin tuutsi. annain snapi umuhka kipäätäpi sana askskaatipa oortuhpi taasapurtuhpi koi noonisti ikakaamia nisti kimadahkutsuvat anjokomi omi kidatui sina kiduhtaaks mustissuhtik kidahtakammutsiipst kanaamia nisti snape anakamuuksi nuhtsiipuis vikanakkaas atumukhanasimiipit pinna asamatskili pinna namuustsi nuh näikamutsiipiutsi annoksiistikoikaatuhteipuju ombahkita piikseen sukania aiaki kaikki maata muukia essohtikaaki kidakaitsini katuhpa kiuhpitski tuhpinnaat nohaitsini katu kitsikuututamaapspua aamuksei taappestutsiiksi avaiskutuutsi aamema tohkusksinnet aamamatu tohkusksinnet aamuta pohkusksinime o tohsua ut sitä pestutspiao annoh maadetanisti simekakkananista opu ooki maatsitu taapispi sikasti muhtsi panio kuumi teskini maatsta anna kanneakseni ei säyksikkaisiksi ei säyksikkaisiksi panista panissin maksauhatuksiksipstauksi mä tunnen ei tannisti annoksiskanaatini maani kristsikko anneakkuta ei puukaeksaa sitäpi ei kaikki maa kaikki tsikiua äskseni kaikki aamu kiksuukkoa aamuksi sopiksi äskenootsi anno hadam samat äskenootsi anno kaikki hän suukkutsi muu palmastis saakini maan ne nohkuskana hadam samat äskeni onkin maa ei taapiua maata täiksuukkoa maata tässä pahkan jousi muu täitsini kuukka muut mansta tämä ei taapkona ja kiitä passupa anskaista niistä joakin niksukkoa äskenet puukianista sopaki annakaakin niin sohkatak annaka pajaa pummahku hänen itse puutuukiisti päätepio tomanista päätepio ista oatsi mousi muuksi skukkis muu pistaanisi aamuksi pajaapissa no mietkanesti eikö puhatso kerroksisti koja ei kahkimiitsi sääkin Aatsit se on vakaa ei kunnatsi miumpkin läpi. On kaisäätsi katuumia on okskini se kipitää pukaan. On saps kipitää pukaan. Sukski enemmän siikka muu saakin on. Siistä on hakka. Kenskään niin oksi eskini se muhteipuisi. Hän ohki täysi ikahkin minno muavakin. Heikin muut siikka. Mätspung muutsi. Minä istsikani. Minä kukaan pistsikani. Minä kukaan piahää. Iskani aina sitä ahon äikaakin matu niitsi päätepio. Kinnun oskukki. Madakati siuoniski siistumisen. Kata johut teitsi miau äsukinakin. Ainakaan muuti aamu kunnunisti aamu kakkosikaakin. Tämmöisessä kakkosimaan. Isto semmoiset kuku siksest kannattaku. Amo jäi säis akkosi. Äsimit kanai kunno. Äitsiksikkästikin säätämisen. Hän jään sitä pioakin. Äskinoutsi kaikki. Niitä äikin mutsi jopa. Aamuksikaan niitä päätäpio. Oikein on kaikki missäkin. Annak mä täpio aamuksika missikin taukimu. En ole sikiitä. Kaksi sypstään. Mä siitä pitäpio. Mitä pitäpissä minni sitä piäpi. Hänen matakanista. Issuhtsikin tauksitsipsata. Kimatukin muhvakin teistipsa. Kaksi sypstään takin. Aku katski pitäpio. Ei kakao. Aamusta Kistunno na Krista panista paammakatu mi päätipis. Akaika kimopis pompstani. Gemma piipitse okema matapi ohtuakis pistahka. Gemma tatiste piopomokite kitaikina kennai aksi akupatu mukio akutiitsikatuma me ome saapuuksits. Ennäkin on stiikahki muovaa. Iksuukko aikaakin makaa. Espumootio. Ne tomannist so. Maatsit sopi tsitsiksi. Ne tomannist so. Oksiikaakin matsio. Annoksit naapisvi. Haakin sitä issoksi kannakkamatapio. Mandataksi pukaa. Akuksukaappi. Hakeitaa maappi. Feita matsi makaskin outsiissa. Ukso koaks maaksuaa. Otoksista pitää piitspä. Hänne makitsistio iskin oksiiksi. Jakatsistaanista. Hänne ma jakitskin outsia iskin oksiiksi. Nistitsini katki aamaikiksuukkoa. Aamukaaksa kennäi. Minä hokutse päätä piitsa. Aina maatsakin taksapipään, taksiikaakin, aikaakin, hannaakin, kinohanistitsen. Invited to the alcohol center to my relatives to do a little history, stories about the past and the good things of our life in the past. Today they want me to translate what I just said. So translation a bit is when you approach an elder, they'll right away you bring him tobacco. Tobacco is the key of him really settling in looking and finding that answer that you're seeking him for. So when you put that tobacco down, go to his place, his house, you offer that tobacco, you put it in front of him. Sometimes you don't even have to say nothing. You just put it there, and right away that elder's gonna look at it and start wondering, figuring out the person that gave the tobacco. And then after you tell stories and different story, at the same time he's thinking of why did that person come with that tobacco. And then he'll call his wife, hey, Mrs., come here, have a seat here. They gave us tobacco, so now we're going to listen on why they brought us tobacco. Then he takes the tobacco, and once he takes and accepts it, you remember, it's not you that accepted it, it's your spirit. That's a given spirit of Creator that gave you that knowledge, why he sent that person to you with this tobacco so that you can help them. Everybody has gone through different parts in life, and everybody can help you to open their doors to their heart and spirit. So the Spirit then takes over once he gives you, as we see, accepts that tobacco. And then when he puts it down, he'll hold it and be listening to what is said. Just like today I was asked to tell the old story of the past, the history of life and things that's happening. Today, very briefly, like I mentioned, we don't know one another. Nobody visits one another anymore. Nobody knows your neighbor. When there's a problem over here, or there's a problem there, person's sick or something, you don't hear about it. So we're so drifted apart. And it's not our way of life. Our real life is there for one another. And that's the way great Creator gave us that life. Once there was a person that really needed help, he'll come to you and he'll help you. Today they're ashamed of having that problem. We all have problems. So we shouldn't be ashamed of carrying those kind of problems. And I'll tell you why. Those problems don't belong to you. Those problems were put onto you by different cultures, different society, whatever. The alcohol, the drugs, the dope, name it, comes from different parts of the world. Doesn't come from us. So we're ashamed to talk about it. We're ashamed to go to these people. We're ashamed to do these things. No, you don't be ashamed. If you want to be who you are, then you go and see that elder, bring him tobacco, open yourself up. Open him up. So the elder would say, I'm very glad. You're very important. A lot of us today, we feel that we're nothing. We feel down. No, why are you alive, right? Okay, I'll tell you why. I don't feel right. I don't feel good. These people make fun of me. Oh, you hear it. And I hear it all the time. But I always imagine what the old grandma and grandpa were talked about. They'll tell you, don't ever say that you're not important. Just because nobody told you who you are doesn't mean that you're not important. Before you were born, my child, before you came into this world, you were already selected to be part of this world. You were selected out of millions. Mr. Nistil, Kriki, Pipi, Papata Pigs, and Nika, Stibati Piopito, Taki, out of a millions and thousands of little angels, he took you and he put you in your mother. That's why today you hear, God, you made me. You're the only one that made me. Yeah? So he take that and he put you in your mom. Why did he do that? Because he had responsibility for you. Yeah? So he put you in your mom. And then when he put you in your mom, he found a father for you. And he put them together to recognize who your mom and father were. So you were in there born for 9 months before you came into this world. You were already developing in life. Right? That's how important you are. You're not just something that flew around. You're so important, that's what happened. So for 9 months you were there, developing everything. And then when you came into this world, everybody was so happy. Why? Because you came with new life. You came with a change for the family that accepted you so much. So what did you come into? Your dad could have been a Society of the Horns, could have been a Brave Dog Society, could have been a different Eagle Society. There were so many Chickadee societies as you go along. Every Blackfoot was in the society, every one of them. So when you were born into those societies. We'll say a bundle society. And then when you were born into that society, you were given, the day you took your first breath in this earth, responsibility. And the first thing that they do is grandma or mom is not going to let you eat something that belongs to your society. She'll hit your little finger. Don't eat that. You're not supposed to eat. So you start learning that as a little girl, a little boy. And as you grow up, you knew it. Everything you were to take. Grandma, how come I can't eat this? When you start realizing these things. And eventually she's going to start telling you, you can't eat it because you are in this society. You're a little chickadee and there's things there you can't do. From there on, you will go to a bundle society. So many different societies that you're part of. So you start learning responsibility, respect of yourself, helping your family, your mom and dad, recognizing who your family is, who your uncles, your relatives, everybody is taught to you from the grandma. Grandpa sits back, he does the work of the bundles and he's ugly doing it. But the real history comes from grandma sitting there. She starts telling you. That's why you'll hear it's sort of a hand-down teaching habit now, you should say. When somebody asks me a question, I'm going to pass it on to the wife. Ask her. And that's the way, generation from generation. The elder, grandpa elder would say, understand now, ask her, she'll tell you. Why? Because there's certain things that the man, the father, grandpa can't talk about. There's certain things. Whereas the grandma can talk about anything, about the girls, of her life and everything. And that's the important. And why she's that way with the bundle and why she's that way. So some of the things that you eat, you take us today, why so many are getting sick? Or why did on drugs? It's because we're not at that level of really knowing who we really are. And I don't like talking about it, but it all happened from boarding school. It was kind of taken away from the mind. Generation to generation to generation was taken away. Not to tell our real story of our real life. So there's some animals that society can't eat. For an example, a beaver. There's societies in the beavers they can't eat. So one day when they're moving, they couldn't find the deer, the elk, what they were looking for. But what they found was a beaver dam. And the beavers were just like this. So the old people caught a couple of the beavers and they roasted them, they cooked them, they fried them. But that one woman in there that comes from that beaver bundle couldn't eat it. And she was pregnant. And then she said, well, I'll just eat just a little bit. I'll just eat just a little. That's the same thing today. You all come from this bundle. I can't drink this dope here. I can't take this weed. I can't take this wine because I come from this bundle. Same with that lady. She comes from that beaver. So she can't eat that beaver. Yeah. But she did. She took a little bit and she ate it. So what happened? When the little boy was born, he had only one arm. Right? He had only one arm. That's because she ate that beaver. So these are many, many stories that go on. Today when you look at our people, young people that are going through what's not supposed to be happening, it's because of that. It didn't come from us human beings. It was given down to us from generation to generation to generation of Mr. Batapio, our Father, our heavenly Father, that gave us this kind of a life, with the nature of life and respecting nature, and in turn, nature respect us too. Where did the bundles come from? They the ones that told us. Each one of the animals told us, use me in this way. It's a life today. There's the mountain lion, there's the beaver bundle, there's name it right through, eh? All different, and there's so many of us that we come from, eh? So those bundles were that, were part of it. And just think of it, a part of a bundle. You hold yourself. My great-grandmother was part of that bundle. My grandfather. I'm going to be part of it. In other words, you don't have to have that bundle with you or anything. Just knowing was part of that bundle. My family was part of that bundle. I want to go back and trace my way of life so I can follow that generation, so that I can stop it from my kids when they come. Look, I was in the beaver bundle. Grandpa owned the beaver bundle. And there's things they couldn't eat. Same thing that you're drinking with the one you can't drink it, because you get yourself sick. And that's what's happening. So, what we're talking about today is that we have to have people, the Damscats, all these bundle owners, come together and share these stories. These stories are not hidden, but it's us that's hiding them. We have to come together and tell these stories so that the young people know where they came from and what they're supposed to be doing in life, and the importance of them, the importance of this and that. When you go back and so long ago when Grandma used to drag around the tents and everything, and the men were out there scouting, all these things, looking after one another. Pretty soon the animals started to come around, and dog days, and so many beautiful things, So they used to take these pups from the wolves, and the grandmas, and so they used to tell the old man, those boys are playing with those wolf pups. So bring them back, and they bring them back, But yet the boys just kept taking them in. Pretty soon the elders got together. Let's ask for them. So they did. They had a ceremony, and they asked for the spirit of those wolf pups. And when they started to take them, the wolves accept them. Right? And pretty soon those wolves were so high, they were dog packs for the camp. They used to do all these stuff with them. And it was beautiful to see and to hear those kind of stories of where we generated from and how we generated together, how the animals connected with us before we started to talk our language, how we Napi was the main story behind everything. So today Napi stories are still there. Napi comes with this. Same with the songs, same with everything. There's beautiful. So when you say Tchanisto, Tsipikaniko, Tchakis Kiksuko, this is my family. You can only go so far. What about the rest of them, right? And that's where we are today. So go back to the importance of who you really have to be. And especially today, when you go back to the grandpas, when you had a cold, and the cold went to your little sister or brother, the old lady will tell the old man, "Mato to get cogs in me, sage." And then the old man or her should boil it, and the steam of that thing will cleanse the whole house, cleanse. And then she'll take a cup of it, a dipper, put it into different cups, and who all is in the house will take a dipper. Today, you're looking for cure for this virus. It's right in our hands. It's right in our hands. This thing saves, cleanses all what doesn't belong in your body. It cleanses you. Yeah. And it also, when you smudge with it takes bad things away from you. Also, when you using it in your home, it picks up all what's not supposed to be in your home, and the banishes like into thin air, right? So sage is my advice to all of us. Can go out and pick it and use it. Your family needs it. You feel them down, you know them, they're not feeling good. Get sage, boil it and give them a good drink. There's people that had, think of it, people had scars. Some old timers, you'd see scars on their back all over. There was no doctors. So you ask them, how did you cure yourself? And there's real big wounds in their back or their legs. They'll say coxswain, sage. They boil it and they use hot water on it, boil it with that thing. Any place in your body, legs or anything. If your legs are not feeling good, you put your feet in sage. So it's a beautiful thing. And that's why I come in with it today. We use it a lot. At home I use it. And people are just happy. Because sage gives you life again. Your feeling feels good again. That you're not alone. So my advice to all of us, to the grandpas, teaching, I'm repeating Grandpa's way. He raised me, they did things with me, and many others that I lived with that did the same thing too. So my advice to all of us, have pity on one another. Start loving one another. Start respecting one another. We're not people that were just dumped here. We're here because Lord wanted us to be part of nature. We're nature people, remember that. We all come from that. There's no way out of it. We're that kind of people that love one another, work together, and show things. There's so many things that we have to do and start helping our young people. And it's loving one another. Get rid of this gossip. Get rid of these rumors. Don't listen to people that's gossip. Stop them. Hyundai. You're important. Don't talk like that. These are the things that the grandpa would stop us from. That's why today I still speak the language. Aikakima. Espomosi. Ekimotsi. Kitachpoa tukibadvis. If you listen to this, you'll have a good life. Life will take you and it will be a beautiful journey because you're using it to help people. It's not just me. You're using it to help people. So the Lord gives you that life so that you can continue going and helping people. It's not Him, it's the Spirit of Him using your body and mind to help people. That's what nature people are, and we're all like that. We just have to come home in our mind. Home is here, home is here. We have it. We just have to be that person. Oh, today, forgive me for doing wrong to other people. Forgive me. I forgot who I really was. And those few words that you say in admitting that you were wrong in time, you just feel good. Because you clean up that fault and things that you were walking around with. So lots of people carry that. Garbage, rumors, gossip. Don't be like that. If you're carrying it, you're carrying it for them. In other words, how can you explain it? Because in the beginning, it didn't happen to you. It didn't. So why are you carrying it? So these are the things Grandma would say. Those are so simple. And grandmas that talk like that are all gone. All grandpa. If there is, I love them because they still show them the good words and the good things in life, right? So I ask all of you. So I'm going to sing a song in our closing of what we are, the love and nature and when the animal died, gave us his hide, his belly part. Use my belly, the echo of it. My children will come home. The old man was sitting in front of a teepee, and the old lady was sitting there, and all at once the old man said, "Wonder where's our children?" The old lady looked up at him and said, "Your drum is there, sing a song with them. The kids will hear it, they'll come home." And it comes home to your spirit. They'll hit through the valleys, the echo, and eventually they'll come home. And it means many things. Their minds, their spirit will come home to their family, to know who they are. And I'll sing you that little song. So when Indians, when you hear a drum, what does it do to you? You all come to it like that. You all sit around that big drum to listen to it. That's the same thing with the animal when he was out there. As soon as he made that big noise, they all come to him. They look for him when he was alive. See, that's how natured we are. We still have it, but we're not living it. So we have to come home and be that beautiful life that we have. Nikso ko, hamo kanskani bad peace. Nikso ko, hamo kanski thaneki mochi. Kado taki, eskindi taki, kimachi tsita peace. Hakastawasi, hakpukia bad piko six. Kanisi bad peace. Oki kakiman, haksapoya, kuksukui. Oki no hakanyo, no ksukui kukus. Aki tomanis dao paki no kaina, pikanyo sixikao hapskapi. Hatskukus, kukus. Hatski dabi the beyond. Hatskutsi bok, aniki tsuko, ichi tsuko asu, gimma pibits. Anyahanis is the what they kukus. And a ski domanis jiksuko. Anakis kanaka six. Mautuki, Yitskina, Ninamska, Tachiki kunaman, Chiskans, Io jeep stacks, Antipiscots, Wachano six. Our tuinex it watchimosko. Kanamianis to watch. Oki taki mopi, Kidakim. Hanaski to one is Chikakim. Anyahanis. All have a beautiful life in the structure of where we're supposed to go. Anya.